Comes to social media, when it comes to showbiz, why do we believe we gotta act like our sisters? Why we gotta act like them to get a bag, to come up? Like, that's a problem. And now it's even scary. This is why a lot of women, especially in Atlanta, they single, because you can't find a man. You can't find a man. A lot of women cannot find a man. Men are scarce because a lot of men want to be women. A lot of men are acting just like who we supposed to procreate with, even in the church. What's up with the men? What's going on? Your pastor is flamboyant. Your deacon is flamboyant. Your husband is flamboyant. Your husband is messing with the treasurer, and he's a what is going on?
Yo, 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 what's up? This your boy Mike Geesh, and y'all know what it is. I'm back again. On this one, I'm reacting to Anton Daniels reacting to a guy saying that there's so many men is gay out here in today's society, which I definitely agree. I heard him say Atlanta especially, and he say, why is everyone in Atlanta gay? That's what the title is, the main title is. And I'm from Atlanta, and well, I'm gonna get into it in a second. Let me hear what Anton got to say. What he gonna say reacting to this guy? Let's keep it going.
No, ladies, I feel your pain.
I 100% agree with them. I don't know what this spirit is, and let me first say that I think that it really became popularized during the Obama administration. It was like, and I said this when it first started breaking out and people started supporting it, and he was popularizing it, and it was in his second term because his first term before he got elected to office, this wasn't a thing. I remember specifically watching, and he said that marriage was between a man and a woman, right? And by the time that he left office, he was so heavy into the alphabet community agenda. And at first, I thought it was only because they wanted to leverage them for more votes. They was looking for a new voter demographic, and that's why they was using it to hijack the civil rights movement, which obviously feminism had already done successfully. And I thought that that's what one of the agendas were, right? And then when he was in office, he spent so much time advocating for it. After he got out of office, he was still dedicated to it. You know what I'm saying? All of the books that our children read and all of this stuff.
So let me stop it right there for a second. I agree with him. It did start with Obama. In his first term, he was more focused on getting America back straight because for a lot of you who was maybe too young at the time or not even born, George W. Bush just totally wrecked the whole country. I mean, America was on the verge of just being absolutely destroyed and just bottoming out, at that time. In 2008, there was a housing crisis. There was a car industry crisis, just crisis after crisis, Wall Street. So when Obama came into office, his main thing was to send out these packages. I can't think of the name of them, but there was basically packages to give to all these industries to save all these industries. So he gave a whole bunch of bailouts. That's what they were called, bailouts, that he gave to the car industry, to Wall Street, to the housing industry and everything to save America. So basically, in his first term, Barack Obama had to save the United States of America. His second term, gay. The second term was dedicated to gay, and I think into deportation and also to war with like Syria or whatnot, and finding Osama bin Laden and all that type of stuff, But yeah, his second term was kind of dedicated to bringing homosexuality out more in society. Now, I will say before I go ahead and keep it going, I will say that in Atlanta, that the gay stuff in Atlanta with it, which everybody always talking about, started with Shirley Franklin in the early 2000s. I think that with Shirley Franklin, and she the mayor, and that's the mayor in the 2000s, I think that there was a plan to make Atlanta a gay-friendly city for African Americans. That's what I think happened in the early 2000s. It was actually a plan to do that. And because it started shifting even before Obama, got in office and his second term came, it started, you could see it in Atlanta where it was some gay friendly stuff started to start happening within the culture. But I also got some more stuff I'm gonna add to that, but let's keep listening.
And I said, what happened? How did this happen? And so my first inclination and my first reason why I think that this is so prevalent in our culture and society is not just because of him, but it's also because I think it is spiritual. I think that just as much as there is a physical war in our culture and for the ballad and the soul of America, I also believe that this is a spiritual war and that there are demons and devils that are running around on people and they cannot get them off of them. When you think about how much people consume.
I totally agree. I think it's definitely a spiritual warfare going on. Definitely a spiritual warfare, because homosexuality is a spirit. I know it might be some gay people that see this video or whatnot. It's the truth. It's a spirit, because the reason how you know that things are like demonic and the spirits and stuff jumping on people and making them like this, because at a certain time it wasn't as many people out there like that. It wasn't as many people. I can remember in the early 2000s when I was at the train station, and this young girl, she was in high school, and she was talking to another girl, and she was talking about, yeah, girl, I'm thinking about going gay, going with girls. And I was like, I was listening, I was like, what? Because that was something that wasn't prevalent in society, and even in Atlanta culture at that time. This might have been like 05, 06 or something like that. And I was just like, there was never in a time when that was prevalent in school, because she was talking about, yeah, this girl, it's a couple of studs in her school. They was talking, just, I could hear her conversation with this other girl. And obviously, apparently, there was a lot of openly gay kids at her school already, and she was thinking about jumping on the bandwagon. And I was just thinking to myself, like, that's crazy. We ain't never had nothing like that when I was in school, in the 90s in high school. You might have had one gay guy in the whole school. But if a girl or anybody was any like activities like that, was appalling. I remember one girl, there was a rumor where they said one girl was with another girl on the tennis court. And they even put it in our yearbook. And that was appalling. It was a rumor about a girl, and she became ostracized, and everybody looked at her like she was crazy. And that is nothing in today's time. That's nothing. That's absolutely nothing to think twice about. But let's keep going.
On the internet, social media, why things are so easily accessible. I applauded the states that put a limit and a barrier on what type of sites you can visit on the internet, because now it's so easily acceptable in that. And I think that when you start going down this pathway of addiction and promiscuity and all of these things, that a lot of times it leads to what we see happening today. And so instead of us trying to solve for it, we said, well, let's normalize it, right? And this is none more prevalent than what is happening in the culture, and the black culture specifically, because I've always looked at black people, especially black men, they've been viewed throughout history as some of the most masculine type of guys that you can ever run into worldwide, right? It was always understood that masculinity, physical strength, the definition of a man, whatever, so on and so forth. And again, this is not to say that homosexuality has not been in existence since the beginning of the time, but the proliferation of it, the promotion of it. I looked at something. I was looking at something the other day, and Tay Diggs was walking around in a dress. I said,
Tay Diggs, oh Lord, man. But Tay Diggs always kind of, you know what I'm saying. He was kind of iffy to me. But let me touch on what he said a few minutes ago. Yeah, man, the proliferation of it, I might not have said that right, but the proliferations of it is that everybody has been promoting homosexuality. It's being heavily promoted. So when people see things being promoted, they follow it, because people are really naturally followers, human beings. And when you get a lot of the promiscuity, a lot of fornication and everybody having sex with each other, that's a spirit within itself. It's a demon that God says you're not supposed to do in the first place. So once you start doing these things that God said don't do, you get all types of residuals from it. You get homosexuality. You get people having, orgies. You get sex cults. You get diseases, HIV, herpes running rapid. You get all of these things, and they're basically like plagues to a certain extent. Yeah, so that's definitely what I think it is. I definitely agree with him, man. Once you open Pandora's box of sexuality on society where anything goes, then people will take that and run with it and be like, anything goes. It's like a relay race. They handing off diseases and handing off sexual preferences and all type of things. Now you got people saying that they don't identify as one gender. They're fluid and poly this and poly that. It's just gotten crazy. But let's keep going.
He's not even a comedian. The comedians, it's almost like it was ritualistic, a humiliation ritual, and they was always gonna jump in a dress. And it wasn't just black people; it was also, Mrs. Doubtfire and all of that type.
Also, I forgot to say this. Yeah, black men was considered very masculine, and that's crazy. The fact that it seemed like black men picked up the torch and ran with the whole gay thing. It's like we represent gayness now, and it was never like that. How black men, who's supposed to be the most masculine man, the men that all women like, pretty much, is the black man now the face of homosexuality? You had the show Empire that had all the homosexual things going on. Lee Daniels had the show Star. Then if you watch The Chi, I don't know how many of y'all watched The Chi, but over the last few seasons, The Chi just went crazy with the gay stuff. And I know that old girl, I can't think of her name right now, but she's a gay woman and she's the creator of the show. And so I understand that she's gay and she want to put gayness in it, but just went overboard. I'm talking about they had a dude, old boy on there who his boyfriend / girlfriend who was trans, they up there running the streets. Like how you got a transsexual running the streets in Chicago? Where Dirk at? Dirk? King Von? The Chi, I started watching The Chi. And P Valley, don't get me started on P Valley. That scene on like the second season, I turned it off. Like the second episode and second, I was like, you know what? Nope. You know what? I do want to see these beautiful women, but not at the cost of watching some men get with each other. No, can't do it. All right, let's keep going. We're not going to stay on this for a long time, but let's keep it rolling.
Type of stuff, right? And so I never understood it. I never understood it for a bag. And then I seen black women embrace it so much. And that's the part that perplexes me, because why would you support something that you against? Right? They argue against, and they so mad against men that are like that, or they always talking about men are DL and stuff like that. And trust me, on the internet, don't have to be anywhere, nowhere, shape, or form. You can't, no substantiating argument and all of that. The first thing that they're going to say when they don't like your opinion, when they think that you're criticizing them too hard or whatever, is they're gonna call you gay. It's the first. It don't even matter. Pick a content creator that black women have gotten mad at, and the first insult is that they're going to do is they're going to call you gay. But here's the other part of it: all of them got best friends that's gay, and all of them are against men and women's sports and all of this stuff. But then all of them is a part of the Democratic Party, which I think is a wicked party, and all of them support that nonsense in it. So how can you vote for somebody and leaders in a party that supports it so much, that supports transition in children? And I think it's a pathway. It's going towards, it's going to eventually hit and go towards, children. They already trying to put that in there because they got the acronyms, MAPS, right? I forgot what it is. What does MAPS stand for? It's something. Minor attracted persons.
Oh my God.
Minor attracted persons. That's what it stands for. It's called.
Yeah, I'm done. Yeah, this society is over. It's over for this society. And he's right. I agree with everything that Anton just said. Women are like that. If you say anything against them, you gay. If you try to check them on something, you gay. But yet they want a man that's strong, that can lead. But if you try to lead and you try to tell them, hey, maybe you should do this or consider this, you gay. Pick a lane, ladies. What you want? The man, you want a leader? You want a strong man, or you want a soft man that's going to follow you and do whatever you say and agree with everything you say, no matter how wrong it is? Y'all gotta y'all gotta pick a lane, man. And yeah, it's gonna get worse, man. It's gonna get way worse. Because everybody is cool with the gay stuff. And look, the Democratic Party, I'm not with them. I'm also not with the Republican Party. I've said it before. It's a two-headed snake. It's a two-headed snake. So you got the Democratic Party, which under the leadership of Barack Obama has become just super gay. And then you got the Republican Party that's always been pretty much racist. And that's why most black people choose Democrat, because the Republican Party always wasn't for the poor people. And black people typically, generally in the United States, have always been the poorest people. So we gravitated towards the Democratic Party. But the Republican Party racists, they don't care nothing about poor people. So I'm like, both of them are horrible. You know, I can't deal with both of them. I can't promote or endorse either party. That's me. That's how I feel. You know, I'm that type of person. I'm not down with none of it. I don't agree with none of it. But one thing I do agree with the Republican Party is that they not with the homosexuality of the United States of America. They ain't with that. I do agree with them on that. I got to say, if I disagree with everything else, I agree with them on that. But I don't know, y'all. Y'all tell me what y'all think. That's Anton Daniels. If you want to watch the whole video, you can go to Anton Daniels and watch the whole video. But that's my take on everything. I ain't gonna spend no more time on this. Please subscribe to my channel, like and comment. And it's your boy Mike Geesh. Peace.